Hi, my name is FAZLIN.
My name is RABIATUL.
You know what, let's put a 24 mil on.
Hi, today I will explain to you about ADHD. So what does it mean by ADHD? In terms of medicine, ADHD, also known as Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, which is a type of behavior disorder that can diagnose in childhood. This disorder can be categorized into three types, which are inattention, impulsivity, and in some cases, hyperactivity. Although they frequently co-occur, some people may only experience one of these symptoms. So, what is the symptom of ADHD? The following are the three categories of ADHD symptoms that you should be familiar with. However, a person with ADHD may present with different symptoms. For inattention, they easily to be distracted, difficulty in sustaining attention, and sometimes they are having trouble when listening to others. For impulsivity, an ADHD person usually likes to interrupt people a lot, tends to respond immediately rather than waiting to be questioned, and sometimes they are frequently taking risks and frequently act without thinking about their safety. For hyperactivity, people with ADHD also love to talk too much, has trouble concentrating during stressful activities, and sometimes they can't be focused on one thing. For example, shifting from one activity to another activity without finishing any of them. Next, I think that you must wondering what is the causes of ADHD. Based on the research, they indicate that genetics play a significant role in ADHD. Other than that, the scientists also researching to any additional potential that can cause ADHD, such as smoking and drinking while pregnant, premature brain damage, low birth weight, and exposure to environmental dangers such as sleep while pregnant or at a young age.
So, we will go through the development of ADHD. First, we will see by the similarities and differences of development. Three persons who's got ADHD. First, for similarities of Matthew, Samantha, and Sammy, they got the same development, which is distracted. This is because first, Matthew said to his friend Cameron that he is very not comfortable, especially in class, because he cannot go everywhere instead of just listening what the teacher is teaching in front of the class. Secondly, Samantha is very hard to concentrate on one idea at a time, even though she is very smart in class, but she is quite hyper and cannot easily focus what the teacher is teaching. And lastly, Sammy, which is very distracted when he cannot focus on what he is going through and forgot easily when he wants to go, as her wife said that he is very easily distracted by everything on his life, and his wife also obviously not mad and understand her husband when he came back home late for an hour than what is expected, because semi-likely distracted by everything on his workplace. Next, the similarities is excitable. This is called when parents of Matthew said that Matthew is a very hyperactive boy since child, as he is very excited to play around as well as to play rugby. Next, Samantha, when her parents observe she is more active since childhood, and also she will act before thinking the consequences of her behavior in her life. For example, when Samantha playing and then she suddenly climbed the wall without thinking the fearlessness of fell down, then her parents suspicious of her behavior and bring Samantha to meet the doctor. Next, the person is Sammy. This is when he is very happy to see anything that distracted his point of view. For example, when he is walking around the road with his wife, he is very excited to see the light and the car around, and his wife needs to remind him again to focus on their destination. Then we go to the differences. The differences between them are the age of diagnosis, whereby Matthew diagnosed by the age of 12 years old, while Samantha in the age of 9 years old, and Sammy diagnosed in his adult. We can relate that in this theories of plagiate theory, which is Samantha in the concrete operational stage in between 7 to 11 years old, which during this stage children begin to thinking logically about concrete events, while Matthew and Sammy in formal operational stage whereby in the age of 12 and above, as adolescents enter this stage, they gain the ability to think in an abstract manner and the capacity of the highest order reasoning. Next, they also tend to be forgetful, such as Sammy and Matthew have a problems in remembering something that they have to do, while Samantha, she is not forgetful because she is very talented in class. Okay, next, we go to the support system. For Matthew, he got the support system from his best friend, parents, and sister. This is because when his parents know about the Matthew problem, they try to communicate with Matthew if anything problem that he might faces. And also, his father tried his best by shutting down his phone to get Matthew's attention. While for Matthew's mom, she tried her best to get Matthew to the medication to get the Ritalin to make sure that Matthew has got the attention in his life. Then, for Samantha, the support system is her mom. This is when her mom will always concern about her daughter, which is Sam, when she will get the medication of Sam to the doctor to make sure that she will be able to concentrate in her class. Then for Sammy is his wife. As Sammy at first did not know that he has ADHD until his wife managed to persuade him to meet therapists, and then Sammy started to try to research for the sign in Google. For my personal opinion, the person who got the ADHD isn't all. For my personal opinion, the person who got the ADHD isn't all bad, as in chapter 4 from Sternberg's hierarchic theory of intelligence, as Sammy is ideologically in creative part as he got an award-winning cinematographer in his career, while Sammy and Matthew is the part of practical, as well as Sammy is very good in participate in class, while Matthew is very good in sport activity. So don't be judged the person from what weaknesses they have.
Next, we move to the challenges at the individual and family encounter. For the similarities of each of these ADHD persons, I can conclude that they are easily to be distracted. So firstly, we look at Matthew. In the interview session, he said that he had a problem in concentrating during math class. He likes to look everywhere in his class until he realized that he actually can't focus well in that class. And when he doing math, he said it just goes to his head, but when his teacher gives him a question to answer, it just goes, that resulting him to not be able to digest on what his teacher had taught in class. Other than that, Matthew's dad said that he needs to silence his phone when having a conversation with Matthew. Even a single beep from the phone can make Matthew to lose his focus on what his dad said. Next, we move to Samantha. Her mom, Michelle, said that Samantha is found to be hard to focus on something that she does. She always has something to do, but she's only doing it half and shifting from other activity to another activity without finishing any of them. For Sammy, when he was young, he also has some difficulty to concentrate during his class, especially when he's taking notes at the board, like what he's saying in the documentary. When he's taking notes, 45 minutes later, he looked at his note again. The things that made him shocked is he just written 2 lines and could not remember the last 45 minutes. Another example of Sammy lost his focus is when Sammy and Sarah are walking at the street and Sarah wants to talk to him, but he can't even focus on what Sarah said. Next, we move to the next part, which is the differences of challenges that the individual and family encounter. For the differences of each of these ADHD persons, I can conclude that their ADHD symptom is not same to each other. You can refer to the table given. For Matthew, he frequently becomes forgetful. For example, when he loses his fast pass and sometimes his mobile phone for a couple of weeks. His parents also said that mature has a lack of basic skill, especially in reading and writing skill, where at the same time it can affect him in his academic achievement. Sometimes he becomes hyperactive in his class. Mature said that he loves to run around and throwing stuff across the classroom, and he admits that he cannot be able to sit down properly. He also becomes impulsive with no sense of danger. When Mature was about 3 to 8 years, his mom said that she saw Mature at the top of extremely high trees in their garden was about to jump to the ground. Next, I observed that the symptoms that Samantha faces is the same as Mature. Both of them is quite hyperactive that love to making trouble at school, and her mom Michelle admit that she had some difficulty to control her. Even Michelle had years of parenting courses, but none have helped because Samantha has a brain disorder that profoundly affects the way she thinks and behaves. Her mom needs to give Samantha a constant supervision because sometimes she can be too impulsive that can cause many problems when she is staying outside the house, such as she will climb up the trees or run to the road for 3 or 4 times a week. And for Sammy, ADHD symptoms can affect his relationship with his wife. His wife, Sarah, needs to spend a lot of time just to know Sammy's behavior. It is to make sure that she can know Sammy's more, so that any misunderstanding can be avoided from happening in the future. Sarah also said that Sammy had a problem in remembering appointments or obligations that caused him difficulty in getting organized. Next, we move to the ways on how the support system trying to overcome the problem. For Mature, Samantha and Sammy, I can conclude that they were seeking help from the expert one. Mature's parents trying to get medications for Mature, and Samantha's parents also referring Samantha's problem to psychiatrists and do check out before prescribing medications. At the same time, Samantha needs to take Ritalin, a stimulant that's similar to cocaine, that functioning to increase her focus and control behavior better. While for Sammy, at first, he thought that he was just get anxiety or depression. After doing some research about ADHD and some reading about ADHD, he went to therapists to get any medications. And for Sammy, he was fortunate to find a career that served his ADHD well. From his career, he's trying to make himself so busy until he forgot that he is actually an ADHD patient. Other than that, his wife always reminds him about his schedule, especially something that related to the appointment with the clients and so on. Next, we move to the differences about how the support system trying to overcome the problems. For Mature, since he loved to run around, he tried to join rugby at his school, and his family just support him so well. After they found that Mature is actually good in rugby, and hopefully that Mature's dream to become one of the famous rugby players in the world will become true. And for Sammy, he was fortunate to find a career that served his ADHD well. From his career, he's trying to make himself so busy until he forgot that he is actually an ADHD patient. Other than that, his wife always reminds him about his schedule, especially something that related to the appointment with the clients and so on. For the theory that related to this documentary, I can conclude that growth and brain and ecological theory and the microsystem also can be related to the documentary that we have found. Growth and brain and ecological theory is a theory that focuses on the people that we are directly interacting. Microsystem is the first level of growth and brain theory, and under microsystem, it involves the direct interactions of us with our own parents and peers. In the documentary, Matthew in rugby because they realize that Matthew is really good in it. Allowing them to actively participate in what they learn can help them to increase their confidence that ADHD patients also can be successful like the other normal one. Family support is an important element that can help those ADHD patients to realize that there is someone that actually really concerned about them. Well, for Matthew's friend, he is really knowing Matthew's well in terms of Matthew's behavior. They also share the same hobby, which is playing rugby and give support to each other in everything. We can see that it is very important for our friends to create a strong relationship with this ADHD patient because after parents, friends will be the second person that they meet at school or outside the house. In my opinion, family and friends support give an advantage to the ADHD patient's development itself. If parents or friends are distant and neglectful, it will create a negative impact on ADHD patients that resulting them to suffer and do not have any interest in it. But since Matthew has a positive nurturing relationship with his parents and friends, it will give a good impact on Matthew.
In conclusion, raising an awareness is such a need in our today's society. People need to have a critical knowledge about ADHD so that the ADHD patient can be treated well as the normal one. People also need to stop immediately blaming these children and their families for their behavioral and academic problems. It is because ADHD patients and their family also struggling with their life, and don't let them to be down just because of your judging word. That's all from us. Thank you.